Welcome, everybody. It is me. It is the Cyber Warrior, and I know all of my amazing warriors here today are in for an amazing show. I hope you have had an amazing week. It is the end of another week. It is Freya's Day, and I am here to party and have a grand time because that's what we do here. We always have a good time. But I do have an amazing show planned. I have another amazing newcomer to cybersecurity on the show. And I promise, if you stick around for all of like 10 seconds, you're going to meet her here in a minute. So hold your horses. There it is. In the official Sound of Security Happy Hour starting. And I am here with, I never got the correct pronunciation of your name before the show. And I probably should have done that. So I'm going to take a shot in the dark here and say, Adrienne, am I right or wrong?
You are right, my friend.
Yes. So it is good to have you here, Adrienne. Cheers, skulls, everybody in the audience. I love you all. Thank you for joining us this evening. We got an amazing show planned. Now, saying that, Adrienne, I know your current role, but please give us a rundown on who you are, what you're about, and why cybersecurity.
Well, I'm a Looney Tune, and cybersecurity is fun.
I'm kidding. I hear Tweety in the background.
Well, okay, I was actually going to ask. I forgot to ask about that. Yes, I am the whole rundown.
Just you can make it brief. Whatever you want to tell us.
Coach and teacher, 20 years. Medical coder, 4 years. Currently fighting against insurance companies that I just started that job today. Cybersecurity as soon as possible.
So what got you interested in cybersecurity besides being a Looney Tune? What about it?
I was a closet nerd and didn't know it. Oh,
I like it.
I didn't know. I had no
idea.
How did
you not know?
I don't pay attention. I was busy.
So you're like the rest of the people that find it late in life. You're just kind of like, holy shit, I really do like tinkering and breaking.
I do. Well, I used to like to break shit when I was a kid. Like I took apart phones and I took apart just, put it in front of me, screwdriver, and I would take it apart. Forgot how it worked. And then fast forward to getting my medical coding education, we had to take a course on computer, I don't remember the name. So, I was like, oh yeah, this computer, and looking for a better paying job, and the computer is also fun. And hey, maybe I should, is that a thing? And research, because I don't sleep very much and I research online a lot. So guess what I found? I know I can IT jobs. So I got my first healthcare job and was looking at IT jobs for the same company. It was a university hospital in Portland, Oregon, and started applying for the IT job just to see what would happen. The director of the department, hey, let's talk. Let's go have coffee. Really? Sweet. So he's like, I like your resume. You have 0 IT skills, but I really like your resume. And now that I've met you, I really like you. I was like, oh, thanks. And the coffee's good. And he gave me some tips, and I used those to research and figure out things more, and decided maybe on software development, joined a boot camp. It went spectacularly wrong.
I like how you said it went spectacularly wrong.
Just awful. Legally so, to the point where lawsuits were filed, and it was just bad. But I can't talk about that. So after that, it was like, well, what else? Because now software development, so what else? And then the joke in our study group for that boot camp, we made a study group. The joke was I like hacking, and anytime anyone mentioned the word hacking, I was like, huh, what? Let's hack.
Let's break into shit. Let's do it.
Let's break into shit. So it became a joke, and it's like, Adrienne, cybersecurity girl. And I was like, that's the thing? Yes, you can hack for work. So that's how I figured it out.
That's awesome because I got my friend Amanda here. So what I'm hearing, squirrel brain, closet nerd, quirky personalities, and late night research are symptoms of budding cybersecurity seeds. Yes.
And I have a lot of hoodies, so I'm all set.
Yeah, even better.
Yes.
Yay!
Oh, I have a thing for you.
Uh-oh.
With her name.
Uh-oh.
Because I know it trips you up. You want to try?
Mwanawa?
Okay, so say 1 hour.
1 hour?
Okay, now pretend you're in New York and you kind of throw a little New York on it. Say 1 hour.
1 hour.
Now put an M in front and tweak the A's and say 1 hour.
1 hour.
Darling, let me know in the chat if I got that right.
1 hour.
You're always like, no, I don't want to say your name. Goddess Tarver. It's like 1 hour.
She knows I love her. That's my other warrior. She knows
I know. She's awesome. She's actually what turned me on to you. I saw her interview and I was like, yay. Oh, maybe my tribe.
Oh, look, this tribe's for everybody. You know that. Come on now.
Yes.
We are all warriors here. We're all fighters, and we are all here to do big things. Yeah. So I got to ask, though, because your whole premise behind the show and everything you wanted to talk to was about coaching. Now, I've been a coach once in my life. No, twice. And I don't do well at coaching because I yell at my kids all the time. But
I threw balls at their face, so yeah.
I actually would swear at my kids, and then I'd have other parents come up to me and go, "Can you please talk to my kids like that?" And I'm like, "No, they're not mine. No, it's not gonna happen."
Okay.
I don't need some parent all of a sudden getting upset because I said the wrong thing to your kid. No, these are mine. I can do what I want.
You do what I want. That's fine. That's okay.
So what about coaching? And I think coaching brings a lot to the industry that other people don't realize also, because, hey, you're dealing with kids and children, which, let's be honest, there are certain people we deal with on a daily basis that act like kids and children. So, what about coaching that sparked your interest that you wanted to talk about on here?
Well, it's more what transfers from coaching into cyber, into IT, into a lot of different places. Because like you said, it's with kids. And the biggest thing with kids, because they haven't been on the earth as long as we have, as the older adult.
Yeah,
our number one job is to teach.
Correct.
And to train. And if you are worth your salt, worth your body weight. Anyway, if you're worth the title coach, you focus on what our friend Kev Tech preaches all the damn time.
Foundations.
Focus on the fundamentals. Build your foundation. A+. Foundation, fundamentals, that's what you do. And I saw a LinkedIn post a couple days ago, and I think it's from the unpopular opinion guy. I can't think of his name.
Oh, Josh Copeland.
That's what I said. And he was saying about, all these new sparkly tools. And for some of us, it's like, oh, squirrel, oh, toy, ooh, shiny. It's like, look, that's all, and that's fine. It's also me. But the thing is if his focus was, if you've got your fundamentals, if you have that foundation, if you know what you're doing, and you do have tools that currently work, find the new one, try it out. If it works, great. But the bottom line is you never leave your foundation and your fundamentals for said new shiny toy, whatever.
Right.
So that's the whole thing with coaching is teaching. But I've heard you talk in other interviews because I've been watching the recordings and everything. They've been interesting. Lots of good information, connected with a lot of great people. So all of you who've connected, thank you very much. And the thing with the teaching is when I hear some of you talk about, I have to write a report. Oh, write a report. But you have to break it down. No, and it's fine. You have to break it down so the CEO can understand because, bro, too much tech, get out.
Yep.
And they're not having it. But when you teach, when you coach, you have to break it down to what they know And you have to, the thing is like, I was also a teacher. So I taught health. But the thing is, health class, who cares? The thing is still is you have kids who just no clue. Kids who are kind of middle of the road, and kids who are like, I'm done. Can I go now? So you've got to meet everyone where they are. And the thing with being a good coach is, okay, you guys are the little bit slow group. You guys are right about on par with this course. And you guys are so far ahead, you're almost at my level. Shit. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pair y'all with the middle group, and I'm going to take some of the advanced middle group, and I'm going to put y'all with the slightly behind group. And you get people to meet them where they are and grow them with whatever skill, whatever topic, whatever technique, whatever subject, so that you can help educate the whole group and the whole don't leave anyone behind thing. And it becomes like a team effort, and it's great. So that's the whole thing with coaching shenanigans.
Coaching is a bunch of shenanigans, let's be honest.
It really
There's
is.
a lot of shenanigans that go on in coaching. But it's just because you have to, and again, to your point, this is the problem we have with a lot of technical people.
Yeah,
and this is why there's a difference between being able to be technical and being able to speak to executives. A lot of technical people cannot speak the language of executives. Nope. And I got to be honest, I've talked to technical people that talk way over my head, and I've been doing this shit for like 20 years. Like,
not even CEO, just layman, just someone who's not technical. It doesn't have to be the CEO. You use a certain vocabulary. You can just talk to Judy on the street. Hey, Judy, let me explain this concept. Oh, okay, I got it. Technical nerd talk. Well, she doesn't get it. So, yeah.
And so, and this is why I think we have an issue with a lot of our cyber awareness training. And this is where I think it really would come into play, is being able to break things down so they understand it. And let's be honest, the CBT training is complete garbage. And anybody who thinks that's a great idea for learning cyber awareness to a bunch of people that gives absolutely no fucks about, cyber awareness as it is, you're wrong. It is the worst thing you can do, because they're just going to click through and be like, can I take this test? Retake, take this test, retake, take this test, retake. Okay, I passed now, and go about their merry way.
I have a question.
What's going to happen. Yeah.
What is CBT training?
Computer-based training. Anything you do, it's all the stupid computer trainings you do when you start at a company.
I knew that. Shit.
Yeah. That's okay. And it's one of those things that we had in the military. The military was the worst. Stupid Jeff. He was an asshole. But anybody who's in the military or was in the military knows exactly who I'm talking about.
Oh, no.
Rick.
Jeff, no one likes you. I'm sorry.
No one likes
you. Yeah, sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you.
But that was like the worst. So what we did is, us being in cyber and IT, we found ways around the course. We would be able to find the URL and be like, true. Okay, I can take the test now. And you never went through it, because you're like, why? Like, I do this for a living. I know what not to do. Let me take the damn test.
Guilty.
Right? Like, it's like, if this is what I do, why do I need to? I get it. We all fall victim to this shit. But it does not mean I have to be re-informed how this works.
Nope.
Like, I know how it works. I know what to look for. Just sometimes I'm in a hurry because I'm a jackass. And I go, click. Shit.
Yeah.
Should not have done that.
Okay. I'm going to Asahi now.
Oh, nice.
Because I said so.
I'm still on my IPA, but it's not my first drink of the night. So,
Neither is mine. I had the 2. Cheers, my friend. I had the 2 Guinness, remember?
Yep.
Yay.
If you can bypass the test, then you're already cyber aware.
Facts. This is facts. So, yeah, I have to do CEUs for my medical coding and take the test.
I got to do them. I still got to look. I got to check my CISP and like my certs and see where my CEUs are at, because I'm kind of like, do I really care about these certifications anymore? I'm like, I do the job on a daily basis, and I'm always researching, but I don't have the brain capacity to sit down at a webinar and be like, all right, let me listen to this dude drone on for an hour, and he's not even drinking. This is going to be a long one. All right. Like, this is why when I go to conferences, I go to network. I don't go to conferences for the talks because I can't personally, my brain doesn't work that way. I can't sit there through that and just watch somebody talk.
Well, it'd have to be really fascinating.
Exactly. And it would have to like include a lot of fun interaction and stuff like that.
Cartoon diagrams. Games.
At least on this show, people can talk and I can have them, chime in and ask questions, and it actually makes sense.
Yes. It would be nice.
My work, they have us run CBTs at a minimum of every quarter, and we have to run them for the project we are on as well.
That's tragic.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's tragic.
Yep.
James, hopefully that can go away soon, because I hate CBTs. This is the problem I have, though. I can't do web-based learning at all. I can't. I don't work. My brain doesn't work in such a way that I can like watch videos of like, oh, this is how you use our product. Can I just use your product and figure it out? Because that's how I'll learn.
That's how
if I'm not using it, my brain goes, and monitor 2. Here we go.
I'm going to forget. It's like, okay, 1 hour training. I forgot everything, but thanks. I'm going to go figure it out.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things that my brain doesn't work well like that. I got to be in a classroom. I had never reversed engineered anything. And I went to the Grem class for SANS, and because I got to go, hey, I got questions. Hey, can you help me? Hey, can you explain this concept in a little bit more detail? Because I think I'm there, but I'm not all the way there.
Yeah.
Like, that helped. And that's how I got my Grem. Not because I knew what the fuck I was doing, but because I was able to ask questions and understand the concepts and then take those concepts with me to the test.
Right. Figure it out.
But now, well, look, I ain't touched reverse engineering shit since I got the certification. So if somebody asked me to do it now, I'm like, let me pull out my books and see if I can figure it out. Because
give me a minute. I'll go figure it out. Let me get back to you.
Yeah. I had a 17-year-old run circles around me when it came to reverse engineering stuff.
Oh, no.
Like, literally, I was like, we were talking on Discord, doing some stuff on Hack the Box and working through some things. And after a while, he was like, yeah, go do this, this, and this. He's like, you're using the right program. You just got to be able to do these things, and then you'll see it eventually at this point. And I was like, all right. I was like, I got to ask, how long you been doing this, and how old are you? He goes, oh, I'm 17. I don't even do this for a living. I was like, what, homie?
What?
So you're going to put me in a class, and me and you were going to sit down, and we're going to figure this shit out, because, damn.
You are going to teach me, please.
Right.
Yes. That's hilarious. But hey, I mean, learn from the babies. They know what they're doing. Some of them.
Right. Amanda, we were talking about reverse engineering malware. Well, that's the subject we were just talking about, which basically says take a program and or malicious program and find out how it works and how it was coded and what it does. That is reverse engineering. You basically run it through a program, let it run on its own, find it step by step, and stop it when you can. Goodbye, guys. See you never. He. Okay, I'm confused, Moon.
Okay, bye.
Anyways, bye. I'm still listening. Okay, cool. Glad you're listening. But I just, I think coaching, I think just everything in general, people don't realize how much of other career fields feed into cybersecurity and the things that we do on a day-to-day basis. And that's the military too. Yeah. That is a huge problem with the military. They don't know how to transcribe their experiences onto a resume so that it fits other jobs. And that is a huge issue with people that are retiring out. And even going through, what did we call it? SFL TAPS. So for the Army, they called it Soldier for Life, Transition Assistance, something. But it was basically a program for soldiers transitioning out. And they do a resume class. They do a LinkedIn class. They do a bunch of other stuff. And I still don't think the resume class taught people how to properly transcribe their experiences and what they went through and what they did as a job and into civilian work.
You need a skills translator.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think they do a good job of that.
Well, no, a lot of us don't.
No, that's anywhere. That's any job.
Yeah. I take, I've had, these different jobs. It's like, oh, you can completely apply for this one. How? You've got these skills. Where? This means that. This means that. I was like, really? That's what that says? Oh, okay. Sure. How do I say it? And they have to show me how to reword it so it actually matches what the skill is that the job was looking for. So, yeah. That's something I had to learn.
Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. I mean, I lucked out coming up and growing up in IT. I had my first computer was a DOS 3.1 system, and it was a Packard Bell, I think. Back,
I remember this.
Right back in the day with like the 5 meg hard drives, like they were garbage, but they ran Commander Keen and Wolfenstein 3D like a fucking champ. That's all I cared about.
That didn't have floppy disks, did it?
Yeah. It did the 5 1/4, not the 3 1/2, the 5 1/4.
The big ones, yeah.
But it did have a 3 1/2 also, but it had both of them.
We were so happy when those came out.
Right, because your storage went from like 256K to 1.44 meg.
I remember that. We were so excited.
Hey, so memories.
Yay! Look at it. Oh, that's so adorable. I love it.
My wife bought it for me. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I got like 6 of them. I got 6 coasters.
Sweet. Yeah, no. Well, see, I'm a lot older than people think I am. So, I mean, I literally remember when those came out and a few things quite along before. So
the best is millennials grew up before and after. So the millennials came up without the tech and with the tech.
Yeah.
So what a lot of people don't realize is, guess what? I've been around since home computers first came around.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though they hit in the 80s, the first computers hit in the 80s, they really didn't go mass market until early 90s. Mm-hmm. That's when they really started hitting the homes. And so in the 90s is when I got our first desktop. Yep. My dad was a PC person. My uncle had a Mac 2 or Mac 1. I don't know. He had the original Macintosh. I hated Macintosh at the time. I was like, this is garbage. Never understood why. I was a kid. I had no clue. I just knew my computer could play games and his had crappy games. And I could play Oregon Trail and Commander
Oregon
Keen.
Trail. I remember that.
I mean,
I remember Oregon Trail.
We were on TikTok Live the other day just talking about the old tech that we all had, like growing up with the NES and Castlevanias and even though it says "do not blow on cartridge," you're still down.
That's exactly what you did.
Shit, it didn't work.
Do it again. Do it again.
Let me get some cardboard and shove it in there to hold it down, so that it'll actually work.
Yep. All of those things. Yes. Absolutely. So.
I mean, we all came up in it. So I truly think that just about anybody, if you have used a personal computer at all in your life, you already have more experience than some of the people that are actually doing the job or trying to get into the job. Yeah. There are some people trying to get in that had never touched a computer. And you ask them how to turn on a computer, and they're like, and you're like,
I really want you to be joking right now.
Yeah, I'm not.
No.
All right, so let's put it this way. There are people that I have talked to. Now, they may have been joking with me. I pray they're joking with me. I pray to all the gods that maybe they were joking, but I'm talking people seriously, maybe use the word processor at one point in time in their life, or took a typing class in high school, and were like, so I've been doing like this job for 30 years and I want to be in cybersecurity now. Cool. Do you know what the internet is? Yes. Okay. So we've established that. Do you know what Google is? Yes. It's in the media all the time. Okay. We've established that. So what do you want to do? Well, I don't know. What is cybersecurity? I just hear the term all the time. And I'm just like, so you got to go do some research and then come back.
No. That's partly why I've been watching a lot of your videos, because I've heard you say that before. It's like, I'm happy to help you. What do you want to do? Oh, okay, go figure that out first and then come back and talk to me. So I've been watching a few of your videos and a bunch of other people's videos. So working on
And,
it.
and me and my friend Amanda, who's in the chat,
Hello,
she's
Amanda.
one of those that I love her to death, and me and her are working on it, trying to figure out where she'll fit in. And she understands that, like, she doesn't really understand the field necessarily, but she's good at in the field without realizing it. She's an investigator, OSINT, like,
Good
does a
job.
bunch of stuff, and did not realize she was a security person until I explained to her, actually, everything you do could be used for a red team. Just saying.
Wow. Nice.
So she is good at a lot of things. And so me and her have talked about it. So it's just a matter of figuring out how to get the training so that she understands the terminology.
Ah.
When you're
So
good at it but don't know the terms, you've just been doing it.
right.
It poses a
Just
challenge. So
a little bit.
that's what me and her are working on right now, trying to figure out the best way to get her to learn that. But she will be on this show eventually.
Yay.
Eventually, once we get her comfortable enough. I'm going to have her on walk with me first before she's on this one.
Okay, that's cool.
So
Walk with me is good. I know I've seen a couple of videos for GRC and thought, because I know during those two conversations, HIPAA was mentioned. And being a medical coder, I'm saturated in HIPAA.
HIPAA and high trust.
So I was like, oh, that might be a good idea. And then I heard a young man that I cannot remember his name, this guy with a face, did a video interview and talked about, everyone's wanting to get into cyber. Everyone wants to get into cyber. And pen testing is a hot new thing. And team blue, team red, team all the things. And he's like, I have an excellent idea for you to get in. Quick and fairly easy, and slide right on in there first job and then laterally transfer to wherever you want to go. Hit me. Garbage jobs. Why would you call it garbage? He's like, find a job no one wants to do. Okay, I get it. And he says, the first thing out of his mouth was the words, IT auditor. I was like, huh. He's like, it's boring. And I'm like, is this a sales pitch? It's boring. No one wants to do it. And I'm like, that doesn't really sound all that awesome. And it's like, well, since no one wants to do it, guess how many jobs? So slide your foot right on in there. Do a good job talking to the C-suite, CEO, CIO, CTO, CFO, C3PO, like my friend Dax says. And you're making all these friends, and next thing you know, you do a good job, laterally transfer to something you really, really want to do. Not to mention, you learn a ton of information the entire time. I was like, well, I think I can do that.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is what a lot of people don't realize. GRC, IT auditor, security auditor, all these things, you don't necessarily have to know all of the technology or how everything necessarily works. You need to know the regulations.
Right.
Through learning the regulations, through learning the HIPAAs, the PCIs, the SOX, and everything else, NIST and CIS, then you learn, okay, well, how do we address this? Oh, well, you need a firewall. It needs to log. It needs to go here. We need to have centralized logging.
You do all the things. Yeah.
Okay, so let me figure out what those are and dig in. That way I can actually do, I don't need to rely on someone to answer these questions for me. I can look at it and just know. And so it leads you down that path that I think GRC is really, in any type of auditor role, is really a good starting point. And I'm glad you brought that up, because as much as I talk about how good GRC is, and I really do, I never thought about how good maybe an auditor starting point is for a lot of people trying to break into the field, because you get to evaluate all of these different technologies and all of these different standards and learn the verbiage and acronyms and everything else behind it, because you have to know it to do the job. Right. But instead of having to have hands-on tech, you get to at least get the verbiage, and then you can learn the tech.
You mean all of these acronyms?
Oh, goodness.
I'm studying.
That makes me want to cry.
I know. I'm studying for the Security Plus, and this hurts.
Oh. Dude, I lucked out. I ain't gonna lie. I was very lucky growing up in that I knew I loved computers and IT, and this is what I was gonna do. Now, I did not know I was gonna go into cybersecurity, because it wasn't a thing when we were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew I loved computers and I was going to be work on computers the rest of my life. And then in 05, 04, whenever wireless came out, and I broke into my first wireless network, I was like, oh, I'm going to be a hacker. That's what I'm going to do.
I thought about that. I actually had somebody talk me off of that.
And then I learned after being a pen tester how much paperwork was involved and was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do this.
So I'm good. Thanks.
That and the scope. Companies use it as a checkbox. When you sit here and tell me I have a week to do a test, but you're only allowed to test this subset of my network, I'm like, then what am I doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Because the attacker doesn't give a damn. The attacker does not care what network you want had tested. They're going to hit whatever they find. And they have money.
Yeah. I ain't got number time, baby.
Yeah. And so I look at it, and that's where, so the company I work for now, we offer a service called attack surface validation. And that's us basically going through checking all OSINT, checking everything we can find. And, if we find a potential pathway into your network, whether externally or whatever, or OSINT, whatever we find, we'll let you know. Hey, do you want us to proceed and actually test this and see if this is actually vulnerable? And if they say yeah, then game on, we go. If they say no, it's too sensitive. All right, cool. Just want to let you know this is a potential threat to your network. And go about our way. But that's a service we offer, and we do it. It's a continuous thing, so you're not stuck into this time frame of, oh, you have a week to test this and then like a week or two to write the report. It's you're paying 6 weeks or whatever, a year of service, and we're constantly checking and looking and seeing what's out there. And if we find something, we let you know.
That seems so much smarter than the other way. So
the other way is great for assumed breach.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because from an assumed breach perspective, you're testing their tools. If you do it right, you're testing all the tools. So if they have a SIM, if they have EDR, if they are like your endpoint detection and response, if you have anything like that, or even a managed detection and response team, like a Critical Start or an Expel or something like that, then you have the ability to really test their functionality and their capability of stopping you. So, because you're running the loudest tools. If you're doing a pen test and not a red team engagement, but a pen test, you should get caught. You should have noise out there that sees what you're doing. And if nobody stops you or alerts any other team and says, hey, is this you? And you say, yeah, whitelist it, I'm going to be doing this, or whatever, just letting you know what my IP address is so you're aware of it. If nobody challenges you, then there's a problem within the blue team of your organization. And that's where the purple team effect comes in. That's where all this other stuff works out. And so from an assumed breach perspective, yes, pen tests are great. From an external perspective, you got to give people time. I'm sorry, as good as security is these days, from an external perspective, sometimes it takes a lot of digging to find the holes that attackers have years. If they want to go after you, they'll wait.
You know that's right.
They'll wait for the leak.
Having a beer.
Yeah. They'll wait till somebody's credentials get dumped, and then they'll be like, "Up, there's my way in."
Right there.
Yeah. And they won't do it through the credentials won't get dumped through you. It'll be through like a LinkedIn that said, oh, somebody got into LinkedIn and dumped all of these passwords and all of these usernames, which now have corporate usernames, and people like to reuse passwords. So now we're going to go in and we're going to do it that way. Or you have things like, well, you left a VPN exposed. You don't have MFA. We're going to try to generic log into your VPN. Hey, it worked.
Wow.
Or we have someone's username and password. Hey, it worked. So now I'm on your network. So all these things that companies don't have the time to validate. And from a pen test perspective, externally, I'm going to do a scan. I'm going to get with whatever scope you give me. If your VPN is not in that scope, I'm not going to see it. If your SharePoint site or something isn't within that scope because you're like, oh, this shouldn't be available externally, so we're not going to give the external IP for it, then guess what? You're not getting tested, which means somebody's going to find the weakness, and it isn't going to be us.
It's not going to be me.
And so that's the sad part, and that's how people get caught, because they scope things down too narrow. And it's like, Oh, only run your test on our test and dev network. Well, what about production? Oh, no, that's too weak. It might go down.
Which is probably why I shouldn't work on that.
Wouldn't you want to know if an Nmap scan is going to bring down your production network? I'm just saying.
Wow.
You want to know these things. Oh, yeah. We do. Then why have you not fixed it?
Exactly. Yeah. I actually was put in touch with someone who's in the cybersecurity world, and he gratefully, I'm grateful to him for it, but he talked me off the hacking ledge. He's just it takes a long time to build those skills. I was like, and I'm an old lady. Thanks, man. I'll think of something else to do.
I mean, it's a good life. If you want to do it on the side and do things like bug bounties and, stuff like that, where you can kind of work on your skill set and get side money.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Little side piece over here.
Right. Kind of like my YouTube channel and my TikTok and, everything else I do. I mean, if you want to donate or fund me at all those links are down below. Yes. But no. But if you look at it, like bug bounties and people that want to get into the hacking side of things, but don't necessarily want to work in a corporate structure where they're tied into scopes and paperwork and regulations and all this other stuff. A bug bounty is a great way to do it.
Right.
Because you have all the time for as long as that bounty program is open.
Right.
You have all the time to dig in, do your research, figure things out. Some of them allow you to use automated tools. A lot of them don't. Which means, guess what? Now you have to learn. You have to learn, okay, I see a login prompt. What would I do to attack a login prompt? What tools can I use to learn how to abuse it?
Yep.
Or I have APIs. How can I abuse those?
Hi. I'll be with
you.
So I warned you about my 4-year-old tiny pirate who may or may not interrupt.
There's his. I got 5 kids upstairs. I completely
So she loves to just run in here and tackle me because it's fun.
It's good times.
Anyway, I was gonna tell you I finally took a look at the Try Hack Me.
Nice.
And I don't want to get distracted yet.
Right.
Because of the shiny.
Yeah.
Because I do that all the time. Thanks, kid. I appreciate it. Bye. But I looked and I was like, I didn't know y'all did that. Damn. So I will get in and play, but I want to finish my Security Plus first because I get so.
Oh yeah.
So I will.
Are you going through the same course Andrea is? Or are you doing something different?
What course is Andrea doing?
Andrea, is it Ian? I can't remember. She's going through a Security Plus course also. She's actually testing on the 25th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes! Good luck, Andrea. I believe in you. I am doing just the review course, the freebie on YouTube by Professor Messer.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
You know that's right. Man throws everything
Professor
up
Messer is on point.
He's amazing. But I'm also in his Discord. And his Discord, aside from, there's a couple of trolls, but aside from those turds, it's phenomenal.
And you find that everywhere.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. It sucks, but it's just disturbing.
That's like when I was going through OSCP, you'd go in and ask some questions of like, try harder. Bitch, don't go there with me. I've done everything under the sun. I need a hint of like where I'm going wrong with this specific tool, or am I looking down the wrong rabbit hole?
He said, bitch, don't go there with me.
Don't fucking go there. And they'd be like, well, I'm like, no. And so what I did is I took about like, this is how I met some really good people.
Yeah.
I took like 6 or 7 that we were talking a lot, and I pulled them into our own little group. And so we had our own little private chat where when we ran into issues, we would bounce questions off of each other.
Right.
And this is because what people don't understand is this is why I don't think no pen tester knows everything. No red teamer knows everything. Everybody works best in teams. It's impossible to know everything.
Right.
So like even going through my SANS training and doing CTFs, me and my buddy would do things and I'd be sitting there banging my head on the keyboard. He'd be like, which question? Have you looked at this? Not giving me an answer, just giving me an idea. Like,
Right.
oh, this port or this
Ooh,
whatever. Bang, off to the races, and I figure it out. And then he'd come up to me and be like, "Hey, dude, this number, did you do it? Did you figure it out?" And we were on completely different teams, and I'm like, "Hold up." And I'd go over to him and be like, "Hey, you might want to look at this tool." I wouldn't even tell him what port, what tech, nothing.
Right.
Just this tool. Look at this tool. He'd be like, "Shit, should have
Yeah.
done it." And he'd go and do it.
But that helps.
Yes.
So nice.
Yes. And that's the big thing is like, don't tell me try harder. Like, dude, I've been banging my head against this shit for days. Like,
Right.
that is, you don't understand what I've done. And so we work together of like, hey, you might want to like look at this tool, or you might want look, you're going down a rabbit hole. You got to look at like this port or this application. And that's what we would do. The worst I ever had is I had a guy reach out to me. And now, if you're going for your OSCP, and this is the problem I have with the one of the problems I have with the OSCP right now. At the time, it was supposed to be like, because they had not come out with their advanced search just yet. Okay. So it was supposed to be like, if you did your OSCP, you know how to break into computers, at least at a very basic level. You could crack passwords, you could do all this other stuff. And you didn't really need help with it. You could use everything. You could use Metasploit. You knew how to use all the tools. You knew how to do everything manually. It worked. And so when I was going through the course, and I had a guy reach out to me, he was having an issue with like 2 of his boxes. And it was just in the lab. It wasn't like on the test or anything. He goes, "Hey, I'm trying to I've hit this box and I don't know what to do." I said, "Look, all I'm going to tell you is learn how to crack Windows passwords." Because at the time you had access, you had full admin FTP access to all of the files that you needed to crack Windows passwords. You just had to know which files you needed and to use JTR or John the Ripper. And he was like, "Okay." And then he came back. "What files do I need to crack Windows passwords?" Not telling you. And literally a quick search on any search engine. It could be Google, DuckDuckGo, you name it, and say, how to crack Windows passwords will give you the files you need to combine and do this.
Yeah.
And so that is where I have an issue. If I tell you what needs done and you don't look up how, then I got nothing for you.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
I can't help you.
So, but yeah, it's been a great community to learn, and it's a great alternative way for me to really focus. Just because reading through it's so boring. The book, it hurts. It's painful. So
any of those start books are painful.
It is, but having them do these study groups and the way Professor Messer teaches us to do the things and explain it and all the whatever, it I am so very happy to come here. Do you want to say hi? Come here, say hi to everybody. Come here, kid.
Is her password also?
Tiny fire. Say hello, everybody. Hello.
YOLO.
Okay, go take Ballerina to mommy, and Tree will help her go pee pee and poo poo in the potty.
And he'll get a cough drop.
You can have a cough drop. That's awesome. Okay, no, you don't.
Cherry.
You don't like those. Put those away. I'll give you
cherry.
Orange.
Here, take this one. Yay! And then you can go. Can you go take that to mommy? And I'll talk to you later. Close the door, please.
Is it sad that having five? Is it sad that having 5 kids, the first thing that comes to mind is fuck them kids?
Yes. And now I have no idea what I was talking about. So anyway, I take the test in July. So
you'll pass it. I hear there's been a lot of changes. I got mine in 08. Mine's a lifetime cert.
That's how my teaching license is in Texas State.
Oh, is it?
I have a lifetime, and not long after me, they changed it. So I should still be on the books there. I just don't want to ever go back there again.
Yeah, I was in 08. I was in the Air National Guard just before I went active duty Army, and I need another beer, but I was see all the bottle caps in front of my monitor right now.
I don't know
So
where
probably
my
like
flew away.
2 or 3. It's probably like 3 or 4 weeks of beer that are like in front of my monitor at this point of bottle
That's
caps.
hilarious. That's cool.
I throw the beers away and then I go look and I'm like, oh, bottle caps.
Well, and I just got off antibiotics yesterday, so today's my first day I'm even allowed to have a beer.
So you got to do it right. There you go.
Yes. I'm very happy.
So I'm glad you're off antibiotics. Hopefully that means you're doing well.
Well, I had a tooth extracted.
Ah.
So
so you didn't want to do what I did.
Which is? What did you
I know
do?
I was telling this story, but this story is going to be good.
Oh, no.
So, I was in my 20s. I was early 20s. And when I met my wife, I had never had any of my wisdom teeth pulled.
Oh, no.
My wife, being in dental, she was an expanded functions dental assistant at the time.
Cool.
She goes, "You're having your wisdom teeth pulled." I said, "No." She said, "Oh, no." And we weren't even married yet. And she just looks at me. She goes, You're coming to my dentist's office and he's pulling your teeth. And I was like, "Fuck. You're lucky I love you." Okay. And so I go and I get my teeth pulled. And I think I only had like 1 or 2 at a time. I think it was 2 at a time. They did one side and then they did the other side. And so, so they do the 2 and they put me on, I want to say it was Percocets, either Perks or Vicodins. I can't remember what they put me on, but it didn't get me high. Like it's 6'3", 240 pounds. Like they put you on the lowest dose possible and say this should take away some of your pain and you'll be all right. Unfortunately, it was also a holiday. And so holiday, like going into a holiday week, I believe. So my mother-in-law was making like ham or turkey. I don't know. She was making something and was using Coors Light to put beer in it. It was a ham, I believe.
Okay.
So she put like half a Coors Light into the pan, comes over to her mom, so my wife's Grams, and was like, "Hey, I got half a beer. Anybody want it?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, me." And I had just taken probably less than an hour before my painkiller. And so when I literally downed the entire half a can, I was like, it's half a can of Coors Light. Like, seriously.
That's nothing.
Yo, I was like, within probably 10 to 15 minutes, if that, I was like, oh. So this is why they tell you not to mix painkillers and alcohol. Got it. All makes sense now.
I understand.
And so I don't do it no more because it's like, no, if I'm on painkillers, no. I don't like that feeling. It was hilarious, but I don't like that feeling. When you're feeling lightheaded and like you're floating, not something I enjoy.
It's time to come on back down. Come on back to earth. Touchdown, please. Come on back.
Yep. I need the balloon to deflate, please, and put my head back on my body. You know, this is supposed to be a cybersecurity show, but you know, we just talk about anything.
Hey, we'll talk about whatever. So, anyway, I'm trying to make headway on a direction.
Okay.
In cyber, I'm thinking definitely more team bluish.
Yeah.
Team purplish. Team bluish. I'm heading on that side of the world. So, just trying to.
I mean, we need more good people on the blue team. We definitely need more good people in GRC. And it's only been because the media and everybody preaches this, like they praise the hacking and the red team side of things. But I believe in two theories. One is you need to know one to know the other.
True.
So in order to be a good blue teamer, you need to understand what logs are being generated by red teams so that you know what to find. And the other thing is,
I will write that down.
To be a good red teamer, you need to be a good blue teamer because you need to understand what security tools are out there, what EDR is out there, what SIM tools are out there, and everything else like that, so that you know how to find your way around it. You cannot break through a system if you don't understand the security mechanisms in place.
Right.
You cannot secure a system if you don't understand what policies and procedures to put in place to stop people from exploiting all your shit.
Right. You got to know one to know the other. Exactly.
And GRC just helps you check the box of saying, do you have an EDR? Yes.
Yes.
Do you collect logs? Yes. Can you access them?
No.
Maybe.
I don't know. Can we access? Sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we got that.
So, no. I've been working on trying to, because I watched your original interview with Misha. And then I watched the one that you guys, the last week thing where she was on with her friend, Christine, I think. Hi, Christine. And them talking about, well, Misha and I share a background of medical. She's also in healthcare doing the pharmacy thing. And just, it's such a large amount of information. When you decide, yeah, this is where I want to go, I want to head towards cybersecurity. Okay, welcome. Here is now a tsunami of information for you to siphon through and try to find a path and figure out what you want to do and all the things. And it's just, there's so much to find. Mm-hmm. Not just like, I'm sitting for a test and there's a lot for the Security Plus test because, oh my God, but just Team Blue, Team Red, Team Purple, Team, GRC, Team, what's that over there? Maybe I can, no, what's that? Oh no, what's that? There's so much, which I spent many nights up until the wee, which is, I like being up to the wee hours because brain works awesome at 3 a.m. But
you too?
Oh yeah. Ever since I was little, tiny. But I got in trouble all the time. Go to bed, but I'm wide awake.
I got another story for you on that one, but we're gonna let you finish.
No, I was trying to. Okay, cyber. Now what? Okay, there's like all of these things, and then all this. It was an enormous, overwhelming amount of information to try and find a path. Well, what do I like? What do you got? So it's a lot. It's just trying to get in and figure out which path that right there by itself. There's just a lot. The witching hour, that's right. So that's my favorite.
Oh, she knows how I think.
Oh, I love that. It's just like from 11 p.m. to almost 5 or 6 in the morning. Oh, I'm so happy.
Well, what sucks for me is, so I prefer to work during the day. And this is what's going to get weird. I prefer to work during the day. That way I can talk to team members, I can deal with clients, I can do what I need to do. However, my brain works best and functions best if I stay up way too late. And then at about 12 midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, I sit down on my computer and decide I'm going to get some work done. Then all of a sudden, something that would take me a week to do, I get done in 10 minutes.
10, 30 minutes, yeah.
Right? I'm like,
blast through it.
Like, absolutely. Why does it work this way?
Guilty. Best time I ever had was when I worked night jobs because I was wide awake. The best one was
I hit that wall.
Yeah, loaded boxes at UPS when I was in high school. Best job of my life. Just because, high school and we were crazy. It was a crazy crew and I was the only girl throwing boxes on trucks. Great until I dropped
so you were better than all the dudes that were there. You were just like, fuck you, homie. Let me show you how it's done.
I will neither confirm nor deny that story.
When you're showing all the guys up when you're in high school as a girl, you're like, you know what? Hold up. I got 2 for you. Let's go.
We had so much fun. I worked from 11 to 3 in the morning. It was perfect. Oh God. But then it's like certain hours of the day I can blaze through, but a lot of the day is just like, So yeah, I don't know. The witching hour, I love it.
I completely get it because it's one of those things where I have learned to adapt my body to work during the day because that's when, again, all my clients are awake. That's when business is done. That's how things are handled. And especially now being in management, I have to be available when my team is. But you put me on a night shift, like if I stay up way too late and I'm up at if I'm up at midnight, 1 o'clock and I have not slept yet, I'm not going to sleep. I'm probably going to end up back on my computer, editing videos, doing things that I've been saying I was going to do for the past 2 weeks. and
But
knocking
you
it
get
all out in less
done
than an
like
hour.
This.
It's just gonna happen.
It's beautiful. I love it. And then on top of all of that, I have a chronic illness. I have rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah.
And that in my different support groups, a lot of times we're on the Facebook because that's where we all are. Hey, 3 a.m. check-in. Who's awake? New Jersey, Texas, California, Louisiana. We're all awake because it messes with our sleep. So on top of me being a natural night owl and my brain working beautifully in the witching hour, on top of that, now I get the bonus of I just don't sleep because of the illness. So, but I tell you what, I get a lot of research done. So that tsunami of information I talked about, I made a lot quicker progress than I expected. I'm still working on a few things, but I'm awake. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm not going to sleep anytime soon.
And ain't no one gonna bother you.
It's quiet. I can focus. I don't have the tiny pirate attacking.
And that's the biggest thing. And see, what my problem comes down to is just how me and my wife are.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's if I'm in bed, so like I have an issue, like I don't mind travel at all, except for the fact that I can't be gone too long. It's my time in the military. I just can't be gone too long.
Okay.
But when I go to sleep, if I see her on her computer and I know she's going to fall asleep on the couch, I end up putting on TV and falling asleep on the couch. I cannot sleep in a different room than her.
Oh, that's sweet.
So if I wake up at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and because of my back or whatever else, I don't get out of, I'll go to the bathroom and I'm like, I'm just going to go curl back up in bed next to her because I don't know the next time I'm going to be able to lay back down in bed. And so it's one of those things that for me, it's just, I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I technically could get up and actually be really active and get a lot of shit done. But how often do I actually get to lay in bed next to my wife?
That's fair.
Not that often. So we're going to go do that. So, and then I get warm and I don't want to get out of bed anyway. So I just curl up and I'm like, I'm going back to sleep.
I'm just wide awake. So
I could be like literally from the time I step by the time my 2 feet hit that carpet, I'm like, I should be up and moving. But there's a lot of nights I'm up and moving. I'm like, let me lay back down. It'll be all right. I'll be okay. Right.
Let me rest my eyes for a few.
Right. And I'm a heavy sleeper. And it's funny because I'm one of those that a tornado could literally tear through my house and it wouldn't even wake me.
Guilty.
But I've always been that way. Like it was funny growing up in school because like I'd be on the bus to school and you know how some people rest their head on their hands or not, something like that. My head would go like this, right on the window.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be out. And they wake me up when I go, how do you do that? Do what? Literally the bus is going like this and your head's banging on the window and you are out. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just out.
I have people ask me that I get asked that all the time on a plane.
Oh, dude.
All the time.
Like that.
All the time. All the time. On a road trip, if I'm not driving, I need you to stay awake now. Yeah, okay, Ezra.
So my wife used to get mad at me because when we would drive to and from different places in the Army, I have to be the driver. But there were occasions where she saw me getting tired. Yeah, and she'd be like, I'm taking over. No, you're not. No. And so I'd have to like stop to go to the bathroom or get gas and get out of the car. So what would her ass do? She'd get in the driver's seat.
I would do.
You ain't driving no more.
No, I'm not moving.
And so
no, put your ass down.
We start going, and literally within like 5-10 minutes, if she wasn't talking to me,
gone.
I'm out. I'm just done.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So,
but
yeah.
Just how it is. But this is, again, why in cybersecurity, there's so many different personalities. There's so many. Some people are night owls. Some people will get the most work done at night. Some people get it done during the day. I'm going to be honest. I would probably venture a guess 60 to 70% of cybersecurity does not want to touch foot in an office. That's on the low end. I'm saying 60 to 70% on a low end does not want to step foot in an office. Why? Because you have two types of people. The introvert that doesn't want to be around people anyways,
Yeah.
or the extrovert that knows if they go to an office, they're not going to get any work done because they're going to be talking to people all the time. So me, I know I'm the type that if I get put back into an office setting, ain't shit getting done because I'm literally going to be there. They're going to be like, hey, I need you to go talk to so-and-so. We need to figure this out. 3 hours later, I'll be coming back to my desk.
I'm the extroverted introvert. You guys talked about this a couple weeks, either last week or a couple weeks ago. The extroverted introvert. It's like teaching. You can't really be an introverted teacher. That's
right.
just. I mean, if you are, then you might not do very well, depending on the kind of teacher you are. But the extroverted teach, have fun on the stage, teach all the things, and then come home. Don't talk to me. I quiet.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. I go into my cave and hide. I walk by myself. So, yeah.
The lights. Turn off the lights.
Yes, all of that. Yes. Just come and hide in my little hidey hole. I do. It's too much peopling. I can people, but not a lot of peopling. I have to admit.
I can't go out to bars anymore.
I never
that
did.
is where mine stops. So growing up, I was a bouncer. I had lived at bars. I'd done a lot of different things. I don't like bars anymore. I think it's more because I have grown up and realized the stupidity of people when they get drunk, especially being a bouncer and also seeing my family and some other people. Like, I've seen how people get stupid when they drink.
Do the things, yeah.
And I don't want to be around that. And it's really expensive.
Also
so for me, I'm like, I don't want to do that. But you send me to a conference all day. I can go to cyber conferences and network and bullshit with people all day. I think it's a blast.
Yeah.
I could work from home. But you put me in an office, I'm going to get spent, burnout, and don't want to be there.
Nope.
Like, because someone's going to find a reason to bitch. It's either, the last time I worked in an office, it was, oh, you're smoking too much. Oh, you're never at your desk. Oh, you're doing this. Bitch, my work is done. I don't know what the hell you want from me.
Deal with it.
They're like, you're going outside every hour. Yeah, the fuck, so what?
Yeah.
At least I'm getting work done.
Yeah.
Well, people are seeing you. Yeah, because the smoke pit is right behind the building, and there's a ton of windows right there.
So I have to go over there to smoke.
Yeah.
I can smoke at my desk, but a lot of people will be pissed. So pick.
Right? Take your pick what you want. And so it was just one of those things. I prefer to like be at home because I can get up from my desk, go have a cigarette.
Pajamas.
Right? Like there's days, actually the best part about where I work now, there's days I've shown up to work in a sleeveless shirt and been on video wearing the damn thing. Not even cared. And they're like, actually, I went to one meeting with my sunglasses on.
Nice.
On, I was like,
what's up?
What's going on? They were like, are those the sunglasses you were talking about? You were waiting for? Damn straight.
Yes, they are. And thank you for noticing.
Which, by the way, 2 of my monitors that are HP, I can't see the screens at all because the light that emits from them, my sunglasses block out. But my big gaming monitor, that's like 27 inches or 30 inches or whatever.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at that one, perfect sight. It's like, oh yeah, you can see all this. But if I turn left or right, they're like, yeah, no, you can't see shit. I was like, this is weird. I'm like trying to hit refresh on Twitter, and I'm like, where's the refresh button? Damn it! Like, where'd it go? I can't see my cursor.
It was here a second ago. I need to get some more blue light glasses.
So I got Stokes blue light glasses. Stoke, S-T-O with the double dots above K.
Stokes.
He came out with his own, and they're transition lenses also. So they're blue light lenses that if you go outside, they turn into sunglasses, which is pretty cool.
I'm writing this down.
So I hope he still sells them. If not, I'll send you mine. I don't use them.
Let me know. If not, then I'll just call you a liar and go find my own pair. So
okay.
Either way works.
Okay. But anyways, hey, we are well over the top of the hour. And
Right.
Adrienne, please stay behind so we can chat a little bit. But otherwise, before we go, as we end every show, I want you to give some advice to all those that are trying to join cybersecurity. You're in the same position as them, so what's the best advice you can give?
Advice?
Advice.
Find your path and learn as much as you can about what makes you happy in this field. Wade through the tsunami of information and ask for guidance.
I love it because that's really what it comes down to. That's the gist of it. That's what everybody needs to do. And again, finding the right role is going to take time.
Mm-hmm.
Finding the right place you want to be is going to take time.
Mm-hmm.
Have patience. Even after you get certified. Let me put this out there as my final bit of advice. I retired out of the Army as a 25 Delta cyber network defender. I had 4 SAN certifications. I had a degree in computer information systems, and I had years of experience in IT and cyber. It still took me from the time I retired another 6 to 8 months to find a job. And that is fully loaded with certifications and experience. So for those just trying to break in as a junior that has a security plus, maybe one more, yes, the roles are going to come. Junior roles, when they show up, HR is a bunch of pain in the ass, and they put the bullshit regs out there. Don't go by that. Network with people. There are people like myself out there that I don't give a damn what HR says. If I see your resume and I'm hiring specifically for a junior role, I'm not looking for a degree. I'm not looking for certifications. I'm looking for passion and the ability to learn. Yeah, sometimes degree and certifications show that if I don't know you personally. But if we've talked, if I know you, if we've communicated, and I've seen you learn in public, I know you have the ability to learn, and we're going to keep going with that. So, network, damn it. That is my advice. Network, damn it.
Got it.
But otherwise, look, I love you all. You are all my warriors. You're all my family. Thank you for joining us for another amazing episode of Security Happy Hour. And don't forget, I drink because your password is password. And I really hope it's going to get changed really soon because, man, y'all make me drink a lot. But
Cheers.
Cheers. Love you. Take care and have a great rest of your week and weekend.